What's up, guys? Welcome to Pick Kahuna Barbecue. I'm Tyson Kai Kamanu, and today we're going to do vanilla and apricot double smoked spiral cut ham on the Rectech 590.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
Barbecue.
Hope they won't shoot me down.
A double smoked ham is one of the easiest cooks you can do on your smoker. All we got to do to start this, just get it out of the package. There's no trim work or prep work to this other than opening it up. Take the plastic off, toss that aside. One more thing, this little plastic cap that they stick on the bone, you don't want to put that in your smoker either. So, that's all the prep work we have for that besides applying our rub. And our rub today is going to be 3/4 part DB180 Sweet, 1/4 part Code 3 Backdraft rub, and it's going to give us a nice sweet and hot rub. And this ham is nice and moist from all the juices in the packaging, and we're just going to go ahead and apply our rub liberally all over the whole thing. The front, the back, all the sides. Really press it in there because we want to form a nice crust when we smoke this. Kind of like a honey baked ham, except we're not doing any honey. And also, if it came with one of those honey glaze packages, throw that out too. We're making our own today. Alright, now that we got the ham all seasoned and on the rack, we got it on the smoker, which we have running 275 degrees today, running Royal Oak pellets. And we're going to get the probe in right in the thickest part, which is going to be this top crown part. We don't want to stick it in the side where they've cut it already. We're not going to get an accurate reading, and we want to stay away from the bone a little bit if we can. So we're going to go ahead and place it right here. And our final temp is going to be 140 degrees, but we got a few things to do before we get done with this. Let's go ahead and make our glaze. Alright, now that we got the ham on the smoker, let's go ahead and put our glaze together. I'm going to start with 1 cup brown sugar, half a cup of Crown Royal vanilla, tablespoon and a half of Kelly's stone ground mustard, and what's really going to bring it all together is about 10 ounces of apricot preserves. We're just going to go ahead and finish off this jar. And we're going to get that all lightly mixed together. And then once the smoker gets up to, or once the ham gets up to about 100 degrees, we're going to go ahead and put this on. It means we have about half an hour to an hour left on the ham. It'll let this cook down and cook a little bit of the alcohol out of it. We don't want it to be too strong, but these flavors really mingle well together once they cook down, and we'll see you then. One thing we did forget to mention before we got this all mixed up, we need to add about 2 tablespoons of the same rub we used on the ham. Now we're good. Alright, we've reached about 100 degrees on the ham. We're going to go ahead and set our glaze on here, let it cook down a little bit. We're going to cook a little bit of that alcohol out of it. We'll still get the vanilla flavor, we'll still get the whiskey flavor. What we're also doing is checking the color of our ham, which I'm pretty happy with right now. If it were to be a little bit darker, have a little bit of char starting on it, we may cover it with a little bit of foil to keep it from cooking any further on the outside. But what we're going to do is just let this ride for now until we get to about 130 degrees, and then we'll come back and we'll glaze it up and we'll let it go to 140. Alright, so our ham's reached 130 degrees and it's time to start painting it up. So we're going to take our glaze, brush up this whole ham, all the sides, top. Make sure you get it real good, 'cause this is the best part of the ham, is the outside with the glaze and the crust on it. Here's part of the reason that we put it on the rack. Now we can just pick this up and spin it around. The amazing color on that ham. I'm going to go ahead and finish glazing up this side. Like I said, we're at 130 degrees now. We're going to let it go to 140. We'll be back to take it off. Okay, we've reached 140 degrees in the ham, so it's time to get it off the pit. Take it from here right over to our cutting board. Look at the amazing color and the glaze we got on that. I'm going to get it off this rack. I'm going to go ahead and get it sliced up. So, you can either serve it and just lay it down and let everyone peel their own full piece off like that. But what we're going to do today is just take our knife and cut right down like that. Follow the bone along. It'll tell you where to go. And then we're going to cut this one more time. And there we go. We've got our glazed ham. I guess the next thing to do is for me to get into this. So, cheers. You got the apricot coming through, the vanilla, and a little bit of back end spice from that rub we put together. Okay, so that's really all we got for you today. Go over real quick what we did. We put together our rub with the DB180 Sweet and the Code 3 Backdraft rub. Give us a little sweet and spicy base. When we put our glaze together, we put the ham on the smoker at 275 until it reached 130 degrees. Then we glazed it and let it sit to 140, because remember, all we're doing is reheating this in the smoker. We're not trying to cook it, we're just double smoking it. So that's all we got for you today. And one last thing, I do have to give our buddy Ricer over at Dead Broke Barbecue a little credit for the glaze. I stole his equation and put my own together, so thank you, Ricer. And make sure you check us out on Instagram, and we'll see you next time. Mahalo nui.